Hello. Today I thought I'd share with you this delicious range of fabrics that I've got here. These are from a fabric company called Adornit Fabrics, and they've done this very, very delicious range called Timberland Critters. And you'll see why when you see this fantastic panel that they've got here with all these Timberland critters on it. So I just thought this was just so delicious, and I didn't really know whether I wanted to cut it up. Of course you could cut it up and use the pieces individually, but it was so nice just as it is. I've decided I'm going to use it complete. And so what I'm going to do with these fabrics, because I've got this whole range here, there's some other coordinating prints with these wonderful foxes on and other little creatures from the woodlands and things, and then there's some other prints here that go in, wonderful coordinating all these dots in all these different colours. There's some I don't really want to say smudgy because that's perhaps not the nice word, however I think smudgy is really nice. But these lovely coordinating fabrics, this whole range was just all the sorts of colours and things that I like, and of course I like foxes as well. As you can see, I'm wearing fox colours today. We're having foxes. Anyway, so I thought out of all these fabrics I wouldn't mind making a quilt for a bed, but also some coordinating bedding, so some trimming on some sheets and pillowcases and things like that. So I thought I'd start off with a quilt, and I thought I'd use this panel on the quilt and not cut it up. I'm just going to put some varying different strips of some of the other fabrics above and below, and I've already cut out some of these strips here, so I thought we'd have some of this other coordinating fabrics in there, plus some of these delicious dots and some of this stripe. So I'm just going to go ahead, I've already cut my strips and worked out what I'm going to do. So really a very simple quilt using the feature fabric, some strips above, strips below, and then I'm going to go on later on and do some, as I said, bedding coordinates with sheets with a nice border on the sheet. I'm not going to make the sheets, I'm going to trim some sheets, but I'm going to make some pillowcases and a few other little bits and pieces. So right now I'm going to go away and make the quilt so that I can show you what I've done with the quilt, and then over the next few videos we're going to show you some of the other coordinates that I'm going to make using these very delicious Adornit fabrics. So I've been busy sewing my strips together that I showed you that were all cut out using these delicious Woodland Friends fabrics by Adornit, and I'm just so pleased with the way it's coming up. I think that a child is going to just love this quilt. This is going to be a topper for a single bed, and I think all the colours are so delicious. For the backing, I've joined up some of the fabrics for the backing as well, a little bit plainer than the front so that we know which is the front and which is the back, but we've got all these fun ones on the front with the little fox and all his friends, and so now I've just got to quilt that, so I'm off to go and baste it, and then I'll show you how I'm doing the quilting. So I've gone ahead and I've finished off this quilt. This is kind of like a throw or a topper for a single bed to go with the other bedding that I'm going to be showing you. And so this is using, as I've already mentioned, the fabrics by Adornit.com, and including some fabrics from their Timberland Critters range with wonderful little foxes, and we've got raccoons and squirrels and woodpeckers, all sorts of things going on in this range of fabrics. So that's the quilt. I've quilted it fairly simply because I thought as a throw that's kind of all you needed to do. So I've just free motion quilted some basically straight lines, but they're all a bit wiggly, just following some of the areas and fabrics in the quilt, and I've machine bound it. I have previously done other videos that show you how to do binding by machine, so I've placed my binding on the back and flipped it to the front and machine stitched it down. And I'm hoping that you'll join me for some further videos. We've done a whole little mini series using these fabrics on making a child's bedding. So these are the other videos that are coming up. So we've got the drawstring bag which stores all your bedding, or doubles up as a laundry bag if that's the sort of thing that you're after. And inside here I've got all this bed set. So I had purchased some sheets for the bed. So I've got my fitted sheet, and then on the top sheet I've done a nice trim so that when it's turned back on the bed that's going to look quite smart. We've got a pillowcase to match, which will also smarten things up, and in my experience children love their own little pillowcases. And then of course for any child who's going to sleep in a bed with all this bedding on, they need to have their little nightcap. So that's one of the videos as well. So as I said, there's 5 in this little series. The quilt was number 1, the others will be following. So keep an eye out for those, using these wonderful fabrics. They just feel so nice when they're all made up that I'm thinking that this would be nice on my own bed. So thank you for that. Keep an eye out for the rest of the bed series.